Hello everyone. I am excited to bring you this video. Indiana is my hometown. Shout out to Arsenal Tech and Indiana University East. It is also home of the Indiana Pacers, Indianapolis Colts, Indiana Beach, and an estimated elderly population of approximately 1.34 million people, which represents about 19.9% of the state's total population. The elderly population in Indiana is expected to continue to grow in the coming years as the baby boomer generation reaches retirement age. As the elderly population grows, the demand for non emergency medical transportation services is also likely to increase, making it an important and growing industry in Indiana. If you are interested in starting a non emergency medical transportation business in Indiana, it is important to understand the state specific requirements before getting started. In this video, we will discuss the following 4 specific requirements for NEMT providers in Indiana, including licensing, insurance, Medicare and Medicaid billing, and tariff regulations. If you have not watched my video, The 5 Essential Steps to Starting a NEMT, I would encourage you to watch it for more detailed information on generalized requirements. This video will focus on Indiana's state-specific requirements with a heavy emphasis on tariffs. As always, thank you for joining me, and please hit the like and subscribe buttons so other viewers can watch and enjoy my original content. Now, let's start out by discussing licensing requirements. Before starting a NEMT business in Indiana, you will need to obtain a license from the Indiana Department of Health. This includes completing an application, submitting documentation of insurance coverage, and passing a vehicle inspection. You will also need to meet certain driver qualifications, including a valid driver's license and a clean driving record. Now I will review insurance requirements. NEMT providers in Indiana are required to carry commercial auto insurance, workers' compensation insurance, and may also need to carry general liability insurance, professional liability insurance, and umbrella insurance. The minimum liability limits for commercial auto insurance in Indiana are $25,000 per person for bodily injury, $50,000 per accident for bodily injury, and $25,000 per accident for property damage. Now, moving right along to Section 3, we'll talk about Medicare and Medicaid billing. NEMT providers in Indiana must comply with both Medicare and Medicaid rules and state regulations when providing transportation services to beneficiaries. This includes obtaining prior authorization for non-routine or regularly scheduled transportation services, maintaining accurate records, and submitting claims for payment in a timely manner. You will need a MPI number for billing purposes in Indiana. Now, let's discuss the number 4 requirement, a tariff. A tariff is a document that outlines the rates and charges for transportation services provided by an NEMT provider. The tariff typically includes a detailed description of the transportation services being offered, as well as the rates and charges associated with each service. It may also include any special charges or fees that may apply, such as charges for wait time, cancellations, or additional stops. The purpose of the tariff is to inform customers of the rates and charges for NEMT services and to ensure that NEMT providers are charging fair and reasonable rates. NEMT providers must comply with tariff regulations set by the Indiana Department of Insurance. The maximum tariff that NEMT providers can charge for transportation services in Indiana is again determined by the Department of Insurance and is subject to change. NEMT providers in Indiana must file their tariff with the Department of Insurance and must comply with all regulations regarding the content and filing of the tariff. By complying with tariff regulations, NEMT providers in Indiana can ensure that they are charging fair and reasonable rates and operating their business in compliance with state regulations. If you are ready to start your own NEMT business in Indiana, be sure to do your research and consult with a professional or coach to ensure a successful launch. Also, keep in mind, Indiana carefully monitors your tariffs, or as some may call it, a rate sheet, to ensure fair value. So make sure to keep all your documents updated and organized. As always, thank you for watching, and before you go, remember to hit the subscribe button and be blessed.